You're here because you're curious, I can see it in your eyes. But curiosity, it's a dangerous thing. Trust me, I learned that the hard way. It began 6 months ago. I was just a doctor, a man of science, a healer. I dealt with facts, anatomy, biology. But what I stumbled upon, it tore the very fabric of what I thought was real. It started with an encrypted file. A patient, a brilliant but disturbed young man came into my clinic. He called himself Osiris. The name struck me as odd, but his condition was what alarmed me. He had burns on his hands, marks on his temples, like he'd been electrocuted, and yet he was lucid, almost unnervingly so. He refused treatment. Instead, he handed me a USB drive. He said, "This will answer your questions, doctor." Before I could ask what he meant, he was gone. Vanished, like smoke. I should have left it alone. I should have called the authorities. But something about his eyes. They were pleading, desperate. Against my better judgment, I plugged the drive into my computer. It wasn't a virus, it wasn't some encrypted journal. It was hard to evolve, with my mind filled with memories of experiences like that of a spacecraft, Captain explained. There was a technical smile to his words. It was hard to control the extraterrestrial life. The first file I opened was an ancient map, one that predated anything I'd ever seen in medical school or history books. It wasn't just a map of Earth, it was a star chart, perfectly aligned with the pyramids of Giza, Angkor Wat, and Teotihuacan. The precision was too perfect for humans, even by today's standards. And the symbols, they weren't Egyptian, they weren't Mayan, they weren't from here. That was just the beginning. The next file was a grainy video. It showed a dig site, a secret excavation beneath the Great Pyramid of Giza. Archaeologists unearthed a chamber that wasn't carved from stone, but grown. The walls pulsed, like veins under a microscope, and in the center of the chamber, a humanoid figure, encased in crystal. Its features were unlike anything I'd seen before. Elongated skull, 6 fingers, and what looked like bioluminescent veins running through its skin. I paused the video, my heart pounding. The metadata said it was recorded in 1984. But no mention of this discovery ever made it to the public. Why? Because it wasn't human. It was alien. The files went deeper. There were photographs of artifacts recovered from beneath the pyramids. Artifacts made of materials we can't replicate even now. One was a small obelisk, no bigger than a pen, but when placed near a magnet, it hovered. Another was a disc etched with symbols that glowed when exposed to sunlight. And then there were the blueprints. Detailed schematics of machines capable of manipulating gravity, harnessing energy from the stars, and bending time itself. The files claimed these machines were functional over 1,000 years ago. That's not just prehistory. That's pre-civilization. One file stood out, a single photograph. It showed what looked like a pyramid, but it wasn't resting on the ground. It was floating, suspended in midair, casting no shadow. The caption read, "Project Amun-Ra, Test Phase, Nevada." Nevada, as in Area 51. I started connecting dots. What if the pyramids weren't tombs or monuments, but beacons, communication devices designed to link Earth with an interstellar network? And what if they're still active? But here's the part that haunts me the most. The files contained intercepted transmissions, messages sent to and from the pyramids. They weren't in any human language, but they've been decoded, at least partially. One phrase kept repeating over and over.
"The architects will return."
Who are the architects? The files suggest they're the ones who built the pyramids, and not just on Earth. Similar structures exist on Mars, and even the Moon. But the architects didn't just build structures, they built us. The files spoke of genetic manipulation, experiments conducted millennia ago. They didn't just visit Earth, they engineered humanity. Think about it. Why do civilizations across the world, separated by oceans, language, and time, have the same myths of gods descending from the stars? Why do we instinctively look up at the night sky and wonder, who's out there? Because they put that curiosity in us. We were designed to serve a purpose we don't fully understand. I spent weeks combing through the files, connecting dots I wish I hadn't. One led me to the dark web. There, I found forums discussing something called Project Amun-Ra. It's a modern initiative led by shadow organizations to reactivate the pyramid's original functions, and it's already started. The signals have been sent. They're coming back. And if the files are true, when the architects return, we won't be the dominant species on this planet anymore. So why am I telling you this? Because you have a choice. Ignore me. Dismiss me as a madman. Or start asking questions. Why do world governments keep their greatest discoveries classified? Why do they erase people who get too close to the truth? And why, despite all our advancements, do we still feel so small, so insignificant? It's because we are. and they're about to remind us of that. Stay curious, but tread carefully. The truth is out there, but some truths are better left buried. If you are curious about these mysteries, then make sure to check this video for information.
Wait for it.
Osiris lives.